you will be agreeing that there is a cutthroat competition right now in education sector. You see that government has opened the doors for foreign universities also to set up and establish their own campuses also. And we see a lot of innovations are there after this NEP 2020 and all the recommendations. If you see that a lot of changes are required to be made in all the four dimensions. When we consider any university system, education system, there are four important dimensions. Of course, first is student. And if students are not going to be there, our existence is a question mark. So first and foremost, why we all exist is only because of students. So first dimension is student. Second is staff members or faculty members. This is what we are calling. Third is our infrastructure. So state of the art, IT enabled or technology enabled infrastructure, ICT enabled infrastructure, whatever we are calling. And the last is a teaching learning process. So when you put together this all four, it will make any university structure or education institute structure. So all four dimensions are very important. And if you have to put the best governance, you have to put the best practices, then you have to consider all the four aspects, right? When we talk about the governance, we have to lead by example, right? We have to set an example. We have to see that transparency should be there, accountability should be there. So with the experience of 24 years in academics, starting with teaching assistant and teaching up to provost, I have seen each and every position, which are the difficulties being faced at various level, at the head of the department level, at the head of the institute level, at the dean level, and now being an administrator. But not I am 100% administrator, being provost also. I am also involved in research. I am also involved in teaching. And then I consider my administration is a secondary task. So when we talk about governance, with the 1.5 years of experience in provost as a provost, and before that from 2009 to 2022 as a dean and principal, apart from that head of the department for computer engineering also, I have seen a lot of issues, so which we are going to discuss. And I also encourage all of you to take active part in this. You can also share your views also. And at any point in time, if you wish, you can interact also. You can stop me and ask the question also. Regarding best practices also, it is institute dependent or institute specific. Okay, we cannot have a copy and paste of best practices from one organization into another, because the philosophy with which organizations are running the university institutes are different and it varies. So we cannot have a same best practices. So whatever you adopt, which is not being adopted by any other institute, is a best practices instead of just copy and paste. So this is what we have to discuss today regarding the effective governance, regarding the best practices. But before we start, I would like to share my experience that which kind of challenges we are facing as an academician, as an administrator in today's age, in modern age. The first thing is the difficulty, all of you will agree with me, how to bring student into class, right? So there are so many alternative sources of learning available today. And like you have various courses available in Coursera, MOOCs, NPTEL, Khan Academy, MIT Press. So much of quality content is already available. So many videos you can watch from YouTube and so many other alternative sources. Unless and until you provide the quality content, you give the live example of the topics which you are being taught right now or which you are being teaching right now. Unless and until you share your philosophy, unless and until you share about the advancements which are happening in your field, I don't think students will come to your class. And even if they come, the another difficulty is what? Their attention span is only of 15 minutes, right? So how to increase their attention span, how to engage them in a classroom activity, this is the most important challenge all of we are facing. Now everybody is talking about skill. Okay, so now you have to combine theory and practice, and most of the session should be of skill based. That is, now the weightage of practical is more. Okay, so if you consider, like previously we were engaging student for 30 hours in a week, we used to teach for 16 to 18 hours in a classroom and remaining 12 hours and 10 hours maybe of laboratories. Now the scenario has been changed. Now you have to engage the students more in a lab because we are talking about the skill-based education. And now lesser focus should be on theory because they can enroll in any online course. They can get the knowledge about the subject. The only thing is how to transform the knowledge into skill. This is what we have to focus as a teacher. So this is the first challenge. Second thing, as an administrator, what I've seen, like Pareto optimal principle, where all of you are aware, any organization is growing where only 20% of the people are contributing and still 80% of the people are not contributing. So if you see in teaching, learning, innovation in pedagogy, in evaluation, in research also, like if you just see your data of department of your institute, if you are head of the department or head of the institute or dean, only 10% or 20% of the people are contributing to the quality publications, to the patent filing, to the applying for the grants, for consultancy work. And if you see the remaining the remaining staff members, they are not contributing by and large in all the other activities other than the teaching. So another challenge is how to include them in all kind of activities, not only in teaching, but also in research, also in administrative work. So if you see our structure at assistant professor level, we usually engage staff members, faculty members more in teaching, less in research and less in administration. But as soon as you are promoted as an associate professor, it is expected that your involvement in research and of course in administration should be more. And your teaching assignment will be lesser. And as you become the professor, of course, again, it is expected that your contribution in research and administration should be even more. And of course, your teaching assignment is again lesser than what you were doing at the associate professor level. But in spite of that, if you see that most of the staff members after pursuing PhD also, they stop contributing to the research. So you are aware that if you see all 7 criteria of NEC, highest weightage is of first 3 criteria, right? Your curriculum, teaching, learning, and research. When you put together, it will make total 600, and remaining all 4 criteria only have a 400 marks of weightage. So you understand that you will not get good score in, of course, NEC also, in NBA also, in NRF also, without you have a good standing in terms of research as well as good standing in terms of your academics also. So if you see the H index, if you see the I-10 index, overall citation, if you see the quality publications which are indexed by Scopus, Web of Science or PubMed in your faculty, your institute, your department, of course, these are going to be lesser in number and only few faculty members are contributing continuously in research. So nowadays the focus is more on quality instead of quantity. So gone are the days, those days and these days, if you compare, we started our, like before 25 years, we started publishing paper in conference, national conference. Then we improve ourselves and started publishing in international conference. Then we have moved to the national journals and now we are talking about international journals. But again, now the focus is more on quality. So if you see that we have divided this into Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4 categories of journals. So Q1 means first 25 journals in your field with highest impact factor. Then second category is another 25. So your 50% of the journal falls in first Q1 and Q2. And it is expected that how many publications which are indexed in Q1, Q2 journal with Scopus, Web of Science or SCI index journal, this is what is going to make the impact only. So more focus on quality. And it is expected that everybody has to contribute in terms of teaching, research, and in administration. So my governance, my base practices should be towards all the 4 dimensions like students, staff members or faculty members, teaching, learning process and infrastructure. I have to upgrade, update every aspect of all these 4. At the same time, any university, if you see, it is known with only 4 important parts, right? First is presence of brilliant student. Second is presence of outstanding staff. Third is your conducive environment for the research and the development, including the available resources, facilities, laboratories for research, and of course the financial sustainability, so that you can have a innovation in teaching, learning, all the required resources, smart classrooms, or whatever you want for your research funding and everything should be available. So these all are the fundamental things which are required to run any institute. And like it is very difficult. You see that I am dealing in a class where there is a diversity of the student. So here we are not talking about caste and all other aspects. So if you see in my class also, there is a student with 45% also and 85% also. So how I can engage all the students from 45% to 85% and making my teaching interesting so that they can learn. The ultimate goal is what learning must happen. Okay, whether they are at home, whether they are at university, whether they are in classroom. So these all are the challenges which are being faced. And by keeping all this in mind, today we'll be discussing about the governance and best practices in the modern age. So when we talk about the governance, it is basically a framework of rules, regulations, and decision-making process, right? So rules are being framed, regulations are being set. You have a statutes, you have ordinance, you have all the RRs which are being set. But again, the most important part is decision making, right? So delayed in decision is not encouraged. Means we have to take our appropriate, meaningful decisions very fast in functioning of the institute. I've seen that most of the time students and staff members are facing difficulty because of the delayed decision. So rules are already there, regulations are there. If it is not there, we have to reinvent. Okay. So in private universities, in compared to public universities, they have more autonomy and freedom. So yes, yeah, they can immediately revise and they can add up new things, right? They can do a lot of experiments also. They can do lot of such kind of innovations also. And if the things did not work, they can backtrack also. So this is regarding the governance. When we have a framework of rules and regulation, our decision making should be fast. Okay, so we must be forward looking. We must be adaptive also in terms of our approach. Of course, everything should be focused by keeping student in center. So most of our decisions should always benefit the students and to the staff members by and large. And the best practices is nothing but you can consider it is a method or it is considered the process. When I talk about process, it is a step-by-step approach, which has given you some kind of results or by following this, you have achieved certain objectives or goal of the university which you have set in your vision and mission document. The most important aspect is your transparency and accountability in all your operation. This is what I have seen in most of the organization. It is lacking, or in individual approach also it is lacking, right? So we call HIT principle, honesty, integrity, and transparency. So of course, this is expected today very much, that HIT principle, that is, you should be honest, integrity should be there, means what you say publicly, what you are in private life, what you are in public life should be same. So what you say and what you do, there is a harmony in that. It is called transparency. And everybody is accountable. Okay, so there is a freedom, of course, but that freedom also attached with accountability. So there is no one is going to tell me about my role and responsibility, because when I have joined this noble profession, I have joined this by choice, not by chance. So I have to keep myself updated and upgraded all the time, because so many innovations are happening, so many advancements are happening. So I am not the right fit and the correct candidate if I am not going to update and upgrade myself, being in this field, being in this noble field. So I am accountable administration work. So no one is going to tell me over and over again and again, and no one is going to remind me about all that. It is expected that you are accountable for all your roles which you have to play. And of course, we expect very clear transparency in finance, in ethical conduct, in decision-making process. So this is applicable when you are dealing with student also, when you are dealing with staff also, teaching, non-teaching staff in your daily routine activities also. So you are aware that in any university structure, we have a highest body is a governing body. So which are always making all the decisions. Okay. So board of management and governing bodies are the highest apex bodies. Those who are responsible for taking the decision. Now we have board of studies at the department level for individual programs and for their syllabus and everything, for their assessment, for evaluation and all that. On top of that, we have a faculty board. So all the programs curriculum will come to the board, faculty board. This is institute level body or faculty level body, which approves the curriculum which are being sent and the recommendations which are being sent by the board of studies. And then we have academic council. So academic council, again, we receive from all the programs the suggestion, input and all, and this is where we approve all the suggestions in academic council. Same way we have a research council also, or a research and development cell. So this is going to take all initiatives which are relevant to research and ethical aspect of research, and all aspect of teaching, learning and evaluation is always going to be seen by academic council, and the recommendations of both the bodies are to be sent to the board of management and later on to the governing bodies. So when you design this governing body and this all kind of academic councils, faculty board, board of studies, you always need to see diverse kind of people should remain present. So in our university also and other universities also, of course, I'm hoping that everyone is following this. Like you have an equal number of people from academia, from research organization, from industry. Of course, student presence should also be there. Alumni also, you can engage in such kind of bodies, right? Because they have already studied and they are very much aware about the pros and cons of the institute program in which they have finished their graduation. So yes, NAC is also insisting that staff members' involvement, along with that, the students' involvement should also be there. And every 3 years, right, you have to give the opportunities to the various staff members of your department. So every 3 years, you can revise this board of studies, faculty board. And of course, at any point in time, you can invite a special invitee guest in any number to attend the meeting, so that you will get the inputs from all the people, those who have contributed. And based on that, you can make your decisions very fast. You can make appropriate decisions. So I've seen that complementary nature of individual people. When you have any team, okay, like if you see our Indian cricket team, then all are not aggressive people, all are not defensive people, but there is a right mix of aggressive and defensive people. So in any kind of such bodies, when you form any such kind of councils, when you form, this diversity always gives you a lot of benefit, because the complementary nature of the different people, like industry people will give you about the innovations which are happening, the way they are using technology, handling. The research organization will give you some insights regarding the research, like how they are carrying out all this research and which kind of perspective they are considering. At the same time, academia in different institutes will come up with their best practices and sharing that how they are actually teaching in this modern age. So these governing bodies and all councils, along with all these various faculty board, board of studies, when you form, I think we should be very careful, and you have to engage equally the staff and student. Along with that, equal number of representation should be there from academics, from research organization, as well as from the industry also. This is what we should ensure. Development and implementation of academic policies and procedures is also a crucial role in ensuring the quality and consistency in education. So like statutes, your ordinance and everything which you have set up. So this all academic policies, HR policies are also very much crucial, right? So this is, you have to be extremely careful, and it should be very much transparent. It should be accessible also, like everybody should be aware about all the policies what you have made, like results also, like which kind of gracings are there for students. So whatever academic policies what you made, like promotion of student to the higher semester, higher years, whatever. So these academic policies and procedures, they are playing crucial role. So you have to ensure that, right, nothing is left in this. It should be clearly monitored. It should be like complete, and it should be measurable also. This is what we expect. The most important aspect is curriculum, right? The first step. So curriculum design, you see that if your curriculum is not good, if it is incomplete, then all other steps are going to remain incomplete. So first is curriculum design and development, followed by the content preparation, followed by content delivery, followed by the evaluation. So this is our overall cycle of teaching and learning, right? So you see that the process name is teaching learning. But what we do, we only teach, right? So teacher continuously speak, they don't listen. Student listen, they don't speak. So it is only happening teaching, but not teaching learning. So please ensure the active involvement of the students. You have to engage them. You have to ask them a question, and you have to always insist that such kind of dialogue should be exchanged between student and staff. Then and then the teaching is going to be interesting. So make sure that your curriculum should be relevant, right? And it should be skill-based, as we have said now. So there is a less emphasis on theory, but there is a more emphasis towards practical, towards internship, if you can provide, right? So this is very important because your first step should be very much clear. When you define the curriculum is for whole program and the syllabus is always for a subject, right? Or a course. So this is also people are not clear. Most of the time I've seen that when you talk about the curriculum is of whole program. Like I'm talking about computer engineering, I'm from computer engineering background. Then curriculum is of all 4 year. So most of the time I've seen that the overall approach people have adopted is wrong. So curriculum is a bottom-up approach. Okay, so my last semester is a project, so I am not considering, for example, last semester, which is fully devoted for project, but now I have to keep the subjects for 7 semester. So what I have to teach in 7 semester should be defined first. And the prerequisite of that should be kept in 6, 5, 3, 2, like that. So basically, I have to come up with the teaching and examination scheme first, right, for all the 8 semester. But the overall approach is a bottom up rather than the top down. So first, I have to fix up the 7 semester subject, and to teach that 7 semester subject, which subjects I require in 6 semester to be taught in 5th semester, same way 6 semester again. So I need to prepare a subject dependency chart. And this way you have to design the curriculum, even if it looks like from semester 1 to 8, but actually it has been designed from semester 8 to semester 1. So this is how we can design the curriculum. And of course, you see that a lot of advancements are happening, not only in computer IT field, but in so many fields. So we have to always ensure that our curriculum should look modern, up to date. It should look global also, right? So a lot of syllabuses are available. You are aware that in so many universities website, you can refer that also. But of course, we have to just refer that, and based on our own philosophy of the organization, we have to define the objectives, we have to define the course outcome. So I've seen again also in curriculum, these particular aspects are being copied and pasted. Okay, so even teachers are not aware about the course outcome COs. So many POs have been kept. They have just copy and paste 40, 50 program outcome, which is not relevant. So please ensure when you talk about outcome-based education, because everything is now measured in terms of outcome, you have to always see that your COs, what you frame, what the learning outcome, because instead of hellos, now we are calling this as a student learning outcome. So what they will learn after this particular course and what they will learn after this particular program, right? There are PEOs also, there are PSOs also. So you have to see that how this all can be linked. Okay, there are graduate attributes also, like what kind of graduate attribute you expect. Like there are recommendations given by NBA also, that these are the list of graduate attributes, and from that you can define the list of graduate attributes. So I can assess always that when your graduate is passing from the program, whether this graduate attributes he or she is meeting or not. So this is very crucial step. You see that curriculum design. So when you put together all the course syllabus, it will make the curriculum, and you have to prepare a booklet. You are aware that every year we are keep changing on the syllabus, we are keep changing on the curriculum. So it is very difficult to track for one particular batch of student, like what courses are being offered right now to him, or any student those who have failed in between, and again they are coming to the next year. So please maintain this all record very wisely. You have to prepare a spiral of all this 4 year curriculum, and which you are offering in a pipeline, because every year if you are keep revising the syllabus, it is very difficult to track about which students are to be offered which courses. Then regular reviews of academic programs. This is also very important, like whether you are getting enough admissions in that or not, whether the practical exposures, what you give is enough or not, whether the industry exposure, what you give is enough or not. So these regular reviews, like you are always collecting the feedback, 360-degree feedback from all the stakeholders. So you have to see the feedbacks of all the stakeholders, all the students, and you have to see that you have to review of all academic program regularly. Like if the students are suggesting that more practical exposure should be there in certain subject, then you have to immediately take the action, and you have to maintain all the records. So this is also very important. Collect the feedback and see that you must have taken certain actions based on that. Now we are in the era of interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary research. So courses which are to be offered are of type interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary. There are programs also. Now, full programs which are going to be offered is of interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary uh, in nature, as well as the research also we need to conduct and carry out, which is of interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary in nature. So gone are the days where we have to just sit in one department and we are carrying out the research or we are teaching the courses. So now there is a era where you have to serve as a service department to so many other departments, right? And also you have to avail the services of other department in your own department. Like in computer IT also, we are teaching these subjects like Python, AI, machine learning, data analytics, IoT, cloud computing, blockchain to so many departments. At the same time, we are also availing the services from mathematics, from physics, and from so many other departments like courses on sustainability and all other part. So yes, there is a bigger role of interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary, and this is one of the important feature of NEP 2020 also. And of course, the environment, as I've discussed about innovation and creativity. So you have to provide conducive environment for the growth and development of all. And innovation in teaching, learning, innovation in pedagogy, innovation in evaluation. So instead of just going with the conventional assessment-based method, you can innovate your evaluation pedagogy also. This is where you allow the students to develop the project, allow the student to make the presentation and present, allow the student to appear for online test, allow the student to appear for quiz, and allow the student for conventional answer book based exam also. So instead of teacher centric, here we have to become student centric. Right. So the way students want to get themselves evaluated, we have to provide all the options. So this is where innovation comes in the picture. And then here we have to promote the creativity, right? Like those who are creative mind, those who are fast learner, please allow them some kind of relaxation. But of course, they have to fulfill all the criteria of attendance, practical aspect and all. But here you have to give them some challenging assignments, some more flexibility in terms of attendance for attending hackathon, competitive coding competitions or whatever, right? Like whatever technical events which are happening. So for the event, if they have to attend, then they require to prepare the project or something, then you have to provide the support also, financial support. You have to provide the other technical support also, and you have to also give some kind of relaxation in attendance according to the rules and regulation of the universities. Another important aspect is your physical and technological resources. You can see that now there is a era of this technological advancements. So a smart classroom, everybody is talking about now. So in a single classroom, right, you can use your whiteboard or blackboard also. You can use your projectors and run the PPT also. You can have an internet connection also. You can play the video also. Or at the same time, you can use any other innovative pedagogy by which you can engage the students in a proper way. So of course, yes, we are talking about the IT infrastructure. So everything should be IT enabled now. So state of the art and IT enabled infrastructure, of course, we are expecting. So campuses should be Wi-Fi. So of course, you have to ensure that the access point or Wi-Fi routers are being installed at the appropriate distance so that students can get the proper bandwidth and whatever content they wish according to the subjects and according to the program. Academic content, of course, I'm talking about, they can of course download and they can watch also. Administrative activities, you are aware about our e-governance or MIS system. So most of you are using it. So from student enrollment up to degree generation for student, if we talk, everything should be automated. And if we talk about the staff, then from advertisement, recruitment, up to resignation, the whole process should be automated. So that kind of support we expect from e-governance or MIS system. So yes, our IT or technology is playing a role in all the aspect, in administration, in teaching, in research. Of course, you have to check the plagiarism also. You can use a lot of such kind of tools which are available to develop the project report also, to develop your thesis also, to prepare your thesis also. So this all the way technology support should be there. And yes, most important thing is health and well-being. So I'm always telling here to all my staff members that you should be excited to come to the university in the morning. At the same time, you should be also excited to go back to your home. right? So we are ensuring the health and well-being, so mental fitness as well as physical fitness of both students and staff, right? So this is very important in today's context. Our health comes first. So of course, adequate support services and facilities also we have to provide, and it should be an integral part of the best practices in the university governance. So that also you have to ensure. Another important aspect is promoting the diversity, equity, and inclusion. So again, a lot of times we are always facing difficulty and always getting complaints or recommendations, suggestions regarding inequalities or not being included, and there is not fair evaluation which have been done. So this is very much important. You see that you have to promote diversity, equity, and inclusion. So you have to not see whether we have to means we should not see whether this is gender equal to male or female, whether they are from which caste, right? So equity, equality, and inclusion, this is also very important. So here you have to create an environment where you can celebrate the diversity. You provide the equal opportunities for all by without keeping gender bias or any other caste and other skin by seeing without that all. And you have to foster the culture of respect and tolerance. Again, another important thing is we have to establish robust system for monitoring and evaluating the performance of the institution. Okay, so here we can go for various kind of accreditation, various kind of quality certification like ISO also. We can go for NBA accreditation for program. We can go for NAC accreditation of institute. We can go for NIRF ranking also. So this all the way we can, if you are comfortable, you can go for international accreditation also, like QS iGauge, right? QS Asia and QS the Globe. ABET accreditation is also there. So yes, this is also important for monitoring and evaluating the performance, and the four all important criteria you have to always keep in mind. If I am going to monitor and evaluate the performance of any institute, I am just going to see the quality of input in terms of student, whether the full batch is being passed or not, whether the full batch is being placed or not, whether the all-round development of the student has happened or not, whether the holistic development of the student has happened or not. My staff is equally engaged in teaching, research and all, whether they are continuously improving their qualification or not. So right now also you see that still people have to enroll for PhD. Those who have enrolled in PhD, they have to finish their PhD on time. This is again difficulty we are facing because there are so many issues, social issues they are facing, specifically ladies. But to finish PhD on time is also again very important part, because if you are not going to finish your research work on time, then it is not going to be relevant in today's context, because a lot of research work is happening at the same time. A lot of researchers are doing same work. If you are not going to finish your PhD on time, something which you have discovered and going to present, someone else has already presented, one has already published, then your work is not going to be recognized, it is not going to be published, and the overall work is going to be question mark. So monitoring and evaluating your physical and IT infrastructure, monitoring and evaluating your teaching learning process, monitoring and evaluating your student, monitoring and evaluating your staff development, right? Whether they are attending all faculty development program, STTPs, right? Refresher course, orientation program. When new faculty join, then always you have to engage them in the orientation program, and you have to just make them aware about the institute, about the program, about the university. So this all is extremely important in effective governance. So another important thing is we are facing difficulty in collecting and analyzing the data to assess the quality of education, the research output, and the overall institutional performance, right? So if you are not going to keep your records up to date, if you are not going to use single MIS or e-governance system, it is very difficult to merge the data. It is very difficult to get the insight, because data is going to be the new fuel in the 21st century, right? So data is, whomsoever is going to have a data, they have a power. So once you have a data, you can provide the context with the data and you will get the information. When you apply the rule in the information, it will become the knowledge. When you are knowledgeable, you are a wise person because you have an experience also, you have a knowledge also, and you have experiential knowledge. So it's a wisdom. Based on this wisdom, you can take appropriate, meaningful decisions, which is nothing but your intelligence. This is reflected in your decision making. So this decision making process must add value to the organization. Okay, so when you take the decision, this decision should not be randomly taken. It must add the value to the organization. So this is what you have to see. And this overall process starting from data up to value addition is nothing but my data analytics. This is how you can collect and analyze the data, and always you have to assess the quality in education. So quality is very important, as I've said, whether your results are improving year on year, whether your quality of input is improving year on year, whether the faculties are improving their qualification year on year, whether your research output in terms of number of patents filed, number of quality publications, number of research grants, funded projects, number of consultancy projects. So these all are improving year on year or not. This is important, right? Student results, student placement, average package, number of companies visiting to the campus placement for the campus placement. So every year it is expected that the increase in number should be there. Like if you have finished one cycle of NEC, and if you are going for second cycle of NEC, then always it is expected that in every year when you submit your AQR, at least 20% of the target you must achieve, so that at the end of the 5 year, you can have all the parameters in which you have an added items compared to the last cycle. So please ensure that all 7 criteria for which you have to always show the improvement if you want to really sustain the grade which you have achieved in your first cycle. Then, of course, regular audits. So academic and administrative audits can be conducted by IQAC cell. Okay, you can engage the external experts also. You can also have internal teams also. Of course, 360-degree feedback, as I already said. The first feedback is the students giving feedback for the staff members. And apart from that, whomsoever is visiting the campus and universities, like all the experts, parents, graduating students, so all industry people, we can collect the feedback, and this information obtained from all this, right? It will give you some insight, and based on that, it will drive to continuous improvement in innovation in the universities. So of course, when we talk about governance and best practices in universities, they are essential for ensuring diversity, delivery of quality, high quality education, right? So this is anyhow, if you are not going to provide the high quality education, holistic education. So when I talk about high quality education, you see the student resume, when they prepare the resume, when they write the referral letter, right? The holistic development of student, it must be seen. So you must have provided them opportunities. This is where they have participated equally in sports, in cultural, in social event, right? Equally in technical events also. So all kind of supports must have been provided by the organization. Promoting innovation and research. Of course, at undergraduate level also, we have a big number of students. Those who want to pursue their master, here also we can engage the students in research, and we can have a good number of publications along with the students at undergraduate level, not only during masters and the PhD level also. So please ensure high quality education is only with the presence of outstanding staff, and the outstanding staff with PhD qualification continuously engage in research, right? Keeping themselves up to date, updated, what is happening in their area, new, and these all things to be shared with the students. This is the only way by which we can achieve this. And there is no option left, right? We have to be transparent, accountable in our governance structure, and we have to implement all the best practices, as I've said, for academics, for research, for infrastructure, for social domain, and for the benefit of our student and staff both. And yes, continuous improvement, right? Fostering a culture of continuous improvement is very important. So any processes, like first, when you observe, initially when you prepare, you see that there are some unwanted things, unwanted component, right? So you have to remove that, you have to make it optimize. So your process should be measurable, it should be repetitive, right? And it should be always continuously improved. So please ensure that based on the feedback what you receive, based on your experience, always you have to continuously improve all your processes, academic process. When I talk about teaching, learning, research, right, examination process. So you must have exam reforms also. So whatever things what you have observed which is not working as per your expectation, immediately you can replace, you can optimize it. This is what we have to step, and this is to be documented, right? Like what kind of continuous improvements you have made in last 5 years, right? So this is where again your statutes, your ordinance, everything has to be changed, right? So if you change in your philosophy, in your working style, then you have to change accordingly your rules and regulations also. Now, the era is of multidisciplinary. So as I already said, we have to break down the departmental barriers and foster the cross-functional communication and coordination. So if you see in modern age, every product is multidisciplinary, right? If you see the today's car also, then you require electrical engineer also, you require automobile engineer also, mechanical engineer also, computer guy is also required, IT guy is also required, and EC guy is also required, right? Because we are first going to see the digital support and then we are going to see the wheel alignment. So any product of the today's world is by default multidisciplinary in nature. So you see that in industry also we have to work all the people together, because when TCS is coming, they are hiring electrical engineers also, they are hiring mechanical engineers also, they are hiring civil engineers also, because they have a project from all the domains. And of course, the analysis, when any project has to be done, the first step is after planning is analysis. And when they want to do the analysis, it is not done by computer engineering guys, but it is to be done by the person who is from that background, right? So if there is a power sector related project or power plant project, then it is to be done by only electrical guy. So yes, you have to just come out of your department and you have to encourage the multidisciplinary and cross-disciplinary kind of communication, coordination, and of course the research. And of course, decision making, I've seen that again, there are certain places where everybody is not involved. Okay, so even NEC and NBA people also insist that students also and staff members also should be engaged when you take the decision making, and this process should be transparent. So that's why in every committee, like whatever it is recommended by AICT, UGC also, there are equal number of student representation they expect. So if you ensure the fair representation and participation from all the stakeholders in decision-making process, then please involve representation from all the various sectors. You're right, right? From all the clusters, you have to engage the staff, and you have to see that equal number of male and female should be there, and the students and staff members' involvement should also be there. Your alumni should also be engaged. Okay, so this is also. And without technology, no one can work in today's world, right? So I am from technology background. So there is reluctant, what we have seen, the people are reluctant in adopting the technology. So this scenario were there before 2017, right? Before the pandemic. But after the pandemic, all of you are aware that suddenly everybody has adopted and started adopting the technology. So it is said that if you are not going to adopt the technology, someone who is going to use the technology, somebody who is knowing technology will replace you, right? So same way like AI, machine learning and all. So I think all the time we are facing a lot of debate that these technologies are going to kill a lot of jobs. But at the same time, the person who is knowing this technology with this skill, of course, they have a sky is the limit kind of things, right? So yes, we should not consider this as a competitor, but we should consider them as a companion. And if you know the chat GPT, if you know the generative AI, if you know the AI, machine learning, if you know the data analytics, I think you can save a lot of your time. So previously we used to sit in front of computer, we used to prepare presentations for 2 days. Now if this technology is supporting you, and if you can prepare this within half an hour, 1 hour, of course, we should always use these technologies. So at the end, human intelligence always be there on top of the artificial intelligence. We cannot replace 100% man with a machine. Machines are always assisting the humans, okay, for carrying the routine and repetitive tasks, so that you can focus more on tactical as well as strategic tasks. So devices are becoming smart. Machine has started learning. If we are not going to become smart, if we are not going to learn, then of course, in this scenario, machine is going to replace the man. So that's why we have to keep ourselves updated, upgraded. We have to also learn the way the machine is learning. So it is said that if I'm going to perform this task repeatedly, same again and again, over and over, it is expected that I should finish this task with more efficiency, more accuracy, and more precision. So it is also expected that when you deliver some content in class, when you do some administrative role, when you are carrying out the research, when you performing the experiment, and if you repeatedly perform same task, right, after gaining the experience, you should be in a position to efficiently do it. You should be in a position to accurately do it. You should be in a position to do at the precise or precisely at the precision level. This is what is expected nowadays from all of us. And yes, if we use technology, we can save a lot of our time. And of course, it will give you a lot of transparency also. And your all past histories, your statistics and everything is, of course, going to be maintained. Of course, ethical principle, there are no lectures for being ethical. Okay, there are no lectures for being hardworking. We have to be. There are no option is left with me also. No option is left with you also. So well communicated code of ethics, right? This is very much required. Transparency and accountability, as we have already discussed, open communication. So here also we have kept, right, like our president is also kept one open slot. This is where like every Wednesday, any person, any student, any teacher can go and meet during the afternoon time to him. Same way, there is a open slot for provost, open slot for registrars, as well as we also go and meet students and staff members in every faculty, right? So yes, there is an open house. This concept is called open house. And this is where uh, I personally go and sit in specific faculty and meet the student and staff if they wish to meet. And here there are one day which we have keep it open. So this can be your best practice, of course. Yes, you can keep open slots, or you can have an open house. This is where anybody can come and meet and give the feedback regarding teaching, learning, regarding any hostel facilities, transportation, or whatever their problems that they are facing. Yes, a lot of trainings, as I've already said. So we have a Center of Human Resource Development in our own university. So it is mandatory for every teacher that 2 trainings they have to attend. Apart from that, we have ICT cell, which is providing training regarding how to use technology. So ethical behavior through training. So yes, the CHRD is responsible for providing all such kind of training, starting with induction, orientation, then refresher, and of course on all these various aspects. And wherever the staff members are lacking in this specific skill, they also conduct the survey. And based on the lacking skill, they provide the training. There is a training for all of us also, like leadership training for all the HOIs, deans, vice chancellors, and all. And yes, performance evaluation. All of you are aware about API, right? Your academic performance indicators, and for your appraisals, this performance evaluation. So this is where you have to show that you have done innovation in your teaching learning. You have designed new curriculum. You have designed new courses, syllabus for the new courses. You have helped in designing the curriculum. You have helped in bringing the students. You have helped in placements, right? So according to your performance in research, like according to your performance, what you have done in teaching, learning, innovation, evaluation, curriculum design, syllabus design, right, in terms of student progression and support, and all other activities, right? So this is, of course, we are promoting a culture of integrated through that. So when we see the performance evaluation, right, so all the forms, when they are filled up by the staff members, when it is evaluated by us, we always see that there should be no nil. Okay, so we expect that all the staff members should equally participate, right? Not 100%, but at least in a 80% to 90% of the criteria. So for example, if I have not published any patent in last 3 years, then it is a red signal to me that I have to publish at least one patent in next 1 year, because I have not contributed in my patent filing aspect. If somebody has not applied for the funded research project, right, again, he can think that he should and he must apply for the funded research project, right? So we expect that all the staff members should equally engage in all the activities, right? Like teaching, research, and in administration. Of course, embracing the growth mindset. All of you are aware that there is a cutthroat competition, right? Openness should be there in terms of idea. So adaptation should be there in our democratic country. At least we should listen the people. whatever their recommendation, their suggestions are there. Even those who are resigning from the institute, we have an exit interview so that we can understand their problem, why they are leaving the organization and all. So yes, we have to encourage openness. We have to encourage new ideas. We have to encourage innovation also, right? So instead of teacher driven, it should be student driven, student centric. So please ensure that you must bring innovation because everybody's learning style is different, right? Like I can learn by watching a video, somebody can learn by reading, somebody can learn by attending a class, somebody can learn by writing. So you have to allow the student the way they want to learn. At least we should allow them to learn, and the way they want to get evaluated, we should allow them to get evaluated, right? So we should also engage in evaluate them in terms of quiz, open book test, right? Presentation, project development through project development, and all other aspects. So we need to provide all these various choices, and students have to choose out of all the choices. So this is where we have to bring a lot of innovation. This is what and a lot of experimentation. Like if you are having some autonomy, some freedom, then at least we should do a lot of experimentation. So this is also, I have seen that people are very much reluctant and they just work conventionally, traditionally. And like I've seen that there is a mindset of 18th century, the processes of 19th century. And with this, we have to achieve 21st century goals, how we can achieve with the syllabus of 20th century and this requirement of 21st century, how can we achieve, right? So we have to do a lot of experimentation and we have to come out of this conventional and traditional mindset and the thinking. So if I talk about four important aspects, knowledge, skill, practice, and this mindset, again, I repeat, there are four important things I'm dealing all the day, right? Like knowledge, skill, practice, and mindset. You just tell me where I am facing maximum problem and where we should work first. The issue is with what? Knowledge, skill, practice, and mindset. You just tell me. So we also here drive the mindset change exercise from top to bottom, right? So we have to adapt the new things, new technologies which are coming up. We should learn all these things. We should be fast, of course. Somebody has written mindset, so it's perfect. Only thing is, it's all about the mindset. It's the game of mindset, right? So we should move out of conventional and traditional thinking, and we should adapt new things as fast as possible. Yeah, thank you for responding. Yeah. And you see that create a swift and responsive system, right? So we cannot make staff members, students sit outside our staff and cabin for longer period of time, right? Because our existence is only due to students. So please be accessible, approachable all the time. Be responsive, right? You can send immediately the response through email, through WhatsApp text, whatever. So whatever changing circumstances are there, we should adapt it very fast, right? We should be more responsive, and of course, we should be accessible, approachable. These all things are expected from us. And yes, continuous learning. All of you are aware, nowadays we have to learn, unlearn, and relearn very fast. So many new things are coming up. So gone are the days where you have old books and Xerox, and from which you are continuously teaching for 20 years, 30 years. The technology which I am dealing today, there is no guarantee that it will be there after 5 years. Okay, as you are aware that before 5 years, Python was not popular. And right now, Python has become popular, but there is no guarantee that after 5 years, Python will be there. So it's all about foundation, right? Our fundamentals, right? So whatever subjects which I am teaching today, which are my specialization, like machine learning, AI, data analytics, big data analytics, cloud computing, we haven't heard during our graduation between 1995 and 1999. So this all we can do only because of our strong foundation and fundamentals. right? So only important subject in my field is data structure, design and analysis of algorithm, database management system, operating system, computer networks, discrete mathematics, data communication, and my object-oriented concepts. So if I know this, on top of this, new things will come up is only the change in terms of the structure, change in terms of the framework, but the concepts are always going to remain same. So please ensure to teach at the fundamental levels. For first 4 semesters are very important, right? Like if you are from engineering background, you are aware that our first 4 semesters are the foundations, fundamentals, where we teach the fundamental courses. And from 5th semester onwards, we have all the various tracks, right? Where the specializations are being taught. So yes, specialization is also important. So we expect that students should know everything about something at the same time, something about everything. Right. So yes, for all the subject, they must know little, but at least 1 or 2 subjects should be their specialized subject. 1 or 2 technology should be specialist technology, so that while facing the interview, at least they can tell that these are the favorite subject, these are the technologies in which they are comfortable, and based on that, it will help them to build their career. Learning the data analytics, as I said that, because when we are dealing with data, the knowledge is always hidden within the data, right? And it will not come automatically. So there are various tools. If you wish, you can write down also. I can give certain tools which are freeware, which straight away you can go to Google and download. Uh, these tools which are helping you in terms of data analytics, like whether you have heard or not, I don't know. One tool is Orange Canvas. Okay, and these all videos are also available. So if you want to really get the insight from the data, meaning of knowledge from the data, which is already there but hidden, we call this as implicit. There are certain softwares which are available, which are freeware, which you can straight away go to Google and download, and which is compatible to Linux also, Windows also, as well as your Mac also. So one tool is Orange Canvas. Okay. Second is Tenegra, T-A-N-E-G-R-A. Third is Cipina Research. Fourth is Excel Miner. Fifth is SPSS. Sixth is Power BI, Microsoft Power BI. So these all are the tools, and Tableau, of course. Another is Tableau. These all are the tools which will allow you to see the data from this different perspective, right? You can generate a lot of graph, chart, cross tables, a lot of visualizations you can get out of the data which you are dealing with all the times. So straight away you can go and download the tools. There are videos available, help available. But if you are going to use all these tools, it will definitely help you in saving a lot of your time. At the same time, it will give you insight, right? A lot of reports you can generate, which will be helpful in NEC also, NB also, in NRF also, in your daily analyzing the subject results, in maintaining the records of attendance, in maintaining your teaching learning material. All the way it is going to be useful. So if you have insight from the data, what you can do, you can make your appropriate meaningful decisions very fast, right? You can see that which are the current trends, how the things have changed semester on semester, year on year, right? So where there is an unusual behavior, where there is an outlier, where there is a noise, right? You can optimize the processes. And of course, based on that, you can measure the performances also. So if you have a time series data, like our admission data, results data, right, which is generated over a period of time, then you can do the trend analysis, seasonal effect, right? In our case, seasonal effect is semester on semester, batch on batch, you can do the comparison, right? Irregular fluctuations, if something which has happened like cyclical fluctuations, which thing has happened after every 2 years, every 6 months, every 3 years, this all things you can measure, and this all support is available nowadays, right? So this automation is going to help you large in terms of keeping all the records, and you can measure the performance also. Dashboards, of course, it will give you the summary of overall system. Like if you have a e-governance system, MIS system, we have a various dashboard for various level of users. So this dashboard is going to give you the overall summary. Okay, so you can track the key matrices and gain the holistic view of your overall health of the program, of the institute, of the faculty, or of the university. So all the time our dashboards are always open. You can continuously monitor the attendance also. You can continuously monitor the results also, right? And you can take your appropriate decisions by seeing all this data through your dashboards. So these dashboards are also now you can customize, right? Where a lot of graph charts and cross tabs and other kind of things are also being provided. So yes, it is easy to learn also to create your own dashboards. There are certain tools and technology by which you can learn to create your own dashboards also. Then you have to embrace the technology to drive the transparency and accountability. So all digital tools, right? The tools which you can use for developing the content also, to deliver the content also, like Moodle kind of things are there. We have our own LMS system for our university, right? Which is like a Moodle. So it is starting from curriculum design up to content development, content delivery, and evaluation assessment also, right? So this you can do along with the two-way communication through your portal. So this all digital tools are there to enhance the communication, right? So that you can get connected with the students, with your concerned staff 24/7. And here there are supports of downloading a lot of reports, static and dynamic reports, right? So yes, you can have a dynamic reports also. So gender wise, location wise, you can also have a result analysis. You can compare one semester's result with the other, or this batch results with the others. So this way, all kind of reports, and you can customize that also, right? So dynamic reports are also there, which you can use. So there are a lot of risks, right? Can anyone tell which are the risks right now, which universities are facing, or academic institutes or higher educational institutes are currently facing? How to manage the risk? Which are the biggest risk to any universities nowadays? Staff turnover, can we consider this is the biggest risk? Right? Employee retention, can we consider the biggest risk? Not getting quality input, can we consider this is the biggest risk? The new modes which are coming up, less admission, yes, this is what I'm saying. Okay, so not getting quality admission, not getting admission, proper enough admissions. Now there are various modes, right? You are aware, online mode, offline mode, right? There is a dual degree also. So students can undergo more than one degree simultaneously. So online mode of education is also there, which is also a biggest risk. Okay, so whether the student will turn up in future or not. So this virtual education, online education is also going to affect a lot. What about performance management in your institute? How this performance is being managed of individual staff, individual course, individual program, institute, faculty? Is there any special best cases, anything to be shared from your side? Like, are you made accountable, right, for results or placements, like as a head of the department, head of the institutes? Accountability is there or not for bringing the students, right, into your class for their results, whether they have become skilled or not, whether they have got the ample opportunities for placement or not. Internships, right? Correct. So how much practical exposure you provide, how much industry exposure you provide in your individual program? How many of you offer the summer internship as well as your full semester training in the last semester? Like if you provide two summer internship, right, for 5 weeks after fourth and sixth semester, then 10 weeks of exposure as well as another 16 to 18 week of exposure you can provide through your last semester project training. Winter upskilling, yes, correct. And internship is mandatory, yes. So how much industry supports in that? Do you get enough support from industry? Good. Yes. 4 weeks of internships. Good. MOUs with industries, correct. Yeah. So you see that industry institute linkage is very important. Even our after first cycle also, we have been given the recommendation to strengthen our industry institute interaction, right? So in last 1 year, we have signed a lot of MOUs for staff exchange, student exchange, for their internship, even faculty induction. Like in our university, it is mandatory that 2 weeks faculty induction is compulsory, like in 1 week in summer and 1 week in winter, that the staff members or faculty members have to go in industry and they have to work side by side along with the industry people. So it's not only about the student, but the teacher should also get the exposure to work in industry so that they can reorient their curriculum after coming back to the university from industry, because they will come to know that how they are dealing with the client, customers, how they are conducting the meeting, how technologies are being used. Okay, house training for good. CBIT also encourage this. Yeah. Yes, either you can invite the industry personnel for the training, but the most important part is industry exposure, right? So staff member as well as students should get the industry environment, that how these people are working, how they actually tackle the project, which kind of problems are being faced, how to talk to the customer, how to write the proposals. So these all things need to be seen, and that's why you have to approach the industry. Some tours are also being organized for students, right? Like in Gujarat, we have a science city. Okay, so we always used to arrange the visit of science city and such organization. Like we have a BISEC, we have a ISRO, we have a PRL, we have a BISEC, we have a IPR. Yes. Right. Resource allocation. Another important thing is resource management. When we talk about resource, it's a human resource as well as physical resource both. So you have to see that the right kind of people should be assigned the right kind of role. The most of the time we have seen that the people, those who have a right skill, right, who are not engaged in right kind of work. So please see that the resources what you can allocate, it should be effectively and efficiently assigned, right, so that they can perform their duty nicely, right? So see that most of the time we always get the recommendation that according to our code of conduct, the works are not being assigned or we are not being involved in such kind of activities, right? And now everything is about sustainability. So we are talking about sustainable career, we are talking about sustainable goal. So you are aware that United Nations has set the 17 sustainable development related goals and which are required to be achieved by 2030. So everything should be aligned towards that only, right? So please ensure that you have to integrate the environmental aspect, because everything is going green, everything is becoming green. You are aware about green computing, green building, right? So everywhere you have to just see about the sustainability, about the environment consciousness, and you have to see that the impact what you can make in this society through our governance, through our decision making. Fine. So there is an era in curriculum innovation, right? You have to see that we have to offer flexible formats like online also, because UGC has also permitted, right, to offer at least 1 or 2 courses we can offer to the students in an online mode through our NPTEL or any other platform. Yes, blended learning, right? There are so many new types of learning which has been promoted. So here in blended learning, like whatever you want to teach, you have to give them in advance and they are going to come prepared, and based on that you have to discuss in classroom. Okay, so such kind of things. Also, you can flip classroom based learning, blended learning, all these are the new peer learning. Okay, even student can learn from their own classmates, from the senior students. This kind of best practices are also being adopted by our university. So you can also make them learn from the peers. Even on the Saturdays, we keep these workshops, like the trained staff members or those who are having skilled from specific technology or specific subject are teaching to the other staff members of the department or institute. So this way also we can engage the peer learning. Focus on experiential learning. Okay, so internship, as rightly most of you have accepted, project-based learning, real-world problem-solving opportunities to enhance the employability. So this is very much important. Creativity and everything will. Sure, sir. PPT will be shared. No worries, right? And if possible, you have to recruit the staff members having industry experience, right? But if not, then you at least allow the staff to be inducted in industry at least for 2 weeks or 4 weeks during vacation. And of course, uh, they can get the industry exposure so that they can reorient their curriculum and the overall teaching of that can be enhanced. And diversity in staff is important. Okay, so like Parul University is known for diversity. So here we have a staff member from each and every state and student also from each and every state. So yes, diversity is important. And without research and innovation, you are aware that highest points in NAC all 7 criteria is of research, right? So research, and without innovation in teaching, learning and research, if you are not going to foster this culture, then your existence will be a question mark. Yes, I agree. So whatever text you people are sending, I completely agree for sustainability, right, for society. Personalized learning, okay, implement the technologies and practices for the personal or personalized learning pathways and academic support. We discuss about mental health and well-being, right? So this is you have to prioritize for student mental health by providing counseling services, very important. So I hope that you have a good mentor-mentee system in place, which is recommended by AICT, UGC, and all NEC, where 1 to 25, that is one faculty with 25 students, they are going to be the local guardian for the students. Okay, so they will see their personal problem, also academic related problem, and the career counseling they will also do. So see that this career counseling as well as this mentoring and academic counseling is very important. Career-oriented services. Again, I've seen that there is a lot of myth among the students that they consider that only job opportunities are there in corporate or industry, but it is a myth, right? If you see the government data, by the time of 2030, 30% of the people are going to be retired from research organization, right? Like ISRO, IPR, PRL, BISEC, DRDO, CDEC. So a lot of opportunities to work in a research organization, a lot of opportunities to work in academics also, right? So you are aware that academic sector is booming. It's a noble profession. So minimum qualification is of course PhD. So you have to encourage the students to pursue up to PhD, and they can also enter in our own novel profession. Of course, they can start their own business. Okay, they can join the family business, and of course, they can go to further study also. They can pursue the further study. These all are the outcome of any education. So career-oriented services also need to be provided to the students, and there is a huge weightage of this in terms of NEC as well as in NIRF. Like in student progression and support, this is very important, right? Like which kind of career oriented services you are providing to the students. And of course, we should be welcoming and supportive community, right? For all kind of student, whether they are from same state, other state, same way, we have to welcome the staff member from the other state also, right? So yes, there should be no discrimination in terms of old staff or experienced staff and new staff. So yes, inclusivity, diversity, and we should be welcoming and supportive for all kind of student or even all kind of staff members also. We have to adopt the edtech solutions, right? Like as I said, virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality, and extended reality. You see that the term, what you are seeing right now, virtual reality, has been extended up to extended reality in today's context, right? Artificial intelligence, like whatever task we are manually doing, we expect that same task to be done through computer also. Yes, sir. PhD is the highest qualification. Even you can work up to postdoc, right? So if you see the overall gross enrollment ratio right now in India is 27%, and the government has set a very handsome target to make it, of course, up to 50% by 2030 or by 2035. And if you see the overall number of students after your graduation, right, those who are going for post-graduation is only 12 to 13%. And after post-graduation, those who are going up to PhD and finishing their PhD is only up to 2%. right? So if you are having PhD degree, then you are among top 2% educated person in the nation or country, right? So it is a matter of proud that we are PhD and we are among the top 2% of educated person from the nation. Strengthen the online presence. You see that user-friendly online platforms for admission, for course delivery and student services, right? So you are aware that we have to adopt the technology by and large so that there is no need to physically visit for small kind of tasks by the parents, by the students, right? So they should access all the course material, content online, admission related things, form fill-ups and everything. They can get other services like they want to get the transcripts or they want to get the provisional degree certificate, everything, this all services they should get in an online mode. And embrace the data-driven decision making. Okay, leverage the data analytics, as I've said, from data to information to knowledge to wisdom to intelligence to decision making to value addition, to track the student progress, improve the operational efficiency, right? So if you repeatedly perform same task over and over, we expect that your efficiency and performance always improves over a period of time. This is always we expect that all the decision what you make, it should be data driven, right? You must have a sufficient data in support. So we always say about fact, figures and statistics, right? Before you take the decision. So it always support the data, all right? And inform the strategic decisions. Digital literacy, right? Of course, your non-teaching staff, students, staff members, always you have to equip with all the required and right skill. Okay, not only about technical or technology skill. I'm not talking about only digital literacy. Right now, what I have seen and observed is universities are not installing the right and lacking skill, right? Right skill need to be installed, lacking skill need to be installed. So if somebody is good in communication and if I am forcing him to attend the classes of communication skill is not appropriate. Right, and the today's world, in today's world, the industry is expecting the deployable engineer. Deployable means what? From day one, the person can contribute to the live project. He can become person and start contributing to the live project without any additional training. Yes, scientific knowledge is required. Of course, he must know the statistics, advanced mathematics, research methodology, quantitative technique. These all subjects are required to be known, right? So please ensure that right skill need to be installed among the students and the lacking skill need to be installed. And please remember the word instead of employment. Now we are talking about deployment, right? So the staff should be, students should be deployed from day one and he can become resource person, start contributing to the project without any additional training. This is what is being expected from the university nowadays. Diversify revenue streams, right? Like all kind of partnerships you can make, grants, right? Donations, philanthropic donations, student fees, right? These all are the sources of fund, right? For any universities. Of course, for scholar students, we have to offer scholarships and financial aid. So it's a merit come means kind of scholarship and all other government scholarships. So we have to make them aware about all and this educational if you want to make it accessible, then you have to provide this scholarship to the diverse range of students. And yes, focus on operational efficiency. And for that, you have to utilize technology, right? ChatGPT, AI, machine learning, data analytics, so that you can save a lot of your time. And this time and energy, your potential can be channelized for research, for teaching, learning, and innovation in pedagogy, evaluation, for student progression and support, for your own personal development and growth, right? And of course, you have to maintain strong brand of reputation. Please ensure that every week you have to add at least 2 to 3 bullet points in your resume. You have to always ask, what did I learn? What I have done, new things, right? Whether I have contributed in teaching, learning, whether I have done some innovation, whether I have contributed in research. So please make sure that your resume should be made stronger and stronger. After every week, you have to add at least few bullet points in every week. Otherwise, you have done nothing. You have just come and you have just gone back to your place, right? So please ensure that you must have contributed in some aspect and you have strengthened your resume every week in the institute. And if you are going to become strong, your department will be strong. Based on that, your institute will be strong. Based on your faculty will be strong. And based on that, the institute will be strong. So university is not four walls. All of you are agreeing with me. University is nothing but all of we. So student, staff members. So if we are going to work hard, we are going to improve our performance, our resume, then of course the institute profile, their research standing, their academic standing will definitely improve and enhance. We have to promote the sustainability practices, right? So implement eco-friendly initiatives and encourage for responsible resource management. Community outreach, you are aware about the extension and outreach activities. You have to organize a lot of camps, right? You have to support the society. Library information. Okay, so whatever you are writing in your comment section. So yes, library, the most important learning resource. You can consider knowledge resource center, but here a lot of support is there, right? So now libraries are also online. So you can access all the resources online. And now there is a era of audiobook, there is a era of ebooks. So in future, you see that all students are going to be accessing audiobooks and ebooks. So yes, we have to adapt all this technology, all these new things which are coming up. So community outreach is very important, right? So yes, because university is part of society and we have to serve the society. So extension activities, community outreach is very much important. Global citizenship, so you have to exchange programs and promote intercultural understanding, right? So international exchange program like semester abroad program, cultural exchange program. So this all kind of things we have to promote. So this is also a part of NEP. You are aware, internationalization in education. So this is where you have to partner with the foreign universities and you have to exchange the staff and students, right? At least for a semester, at least for a program, for cultural exchange and all other part. And of course, you have to integrate ethical consideration into your curriculum and campus life. So in conclusion, right, you have to see that student learning outcomes in OBE education, it should be clear and measurable, right? Your assessment methods, which what we talk about, the modern, up-to-date and global curriculum, innovation in teaching and assessment, as I already said that instead of teacher-centric, it should be student-centric. Attainment of learning outcomes by collecting the feedback. You have to see that how much you have attained. And of course, we should collect the feedback from students, staff members, and all other stakeholders to continuous for the continuous improvement. In the era of multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary education courses which are to be offered of this nature and research which is to be conducted of this nature only, and professional development opportunities for the staff members. Always we have to see that at least two such FDPs, STTPs, every staff member must undergo in a specific semester or a year. And yes, we should be 100% transparent. We should be 100% accountable for teaching, for research, and for our all administrative work. And please ensure that our involvement should be there not only in administrative work, but of course in teaching, research, and then administration. Thank you. I'm happy to answer if you have any questions. So I'll be sharing this PPT. Okay. If you have any question, you can ask. I'll be sharing this PPT, of course, after this session, and it will be forwarded to all of you, right?